Why do women test men before letting their hearts fully open? Because attraction is more than chemistry. It's about trust, strength, and security. A woman doesn't just fall for words, she watches your actions. She wants to know if you're consistent when life gets messy. She checks if your confidence is real or just a mask. These tests aren't games, they're her way of protecting herself. Behind every challenge is a silent question. Are you the man I can rely on? If you crumble under pressure, she'll lose respect. But if you hold your ground with calm strength, her love only deepens. So let's uncover the psychology of why women test men before falling in love and how you can pass every test without even trying. 1. She tests your consistency. One of the very first things a woman will test before falling in love is your consistency, because to her, words are cheap, but patterns are priceless. Think about it. Anyone can say the right things in the heat of the moment, but not everyone can back those words up day after day, week after week. When she challenges you, delays her reply, or even pulls back for a while, she isn't always being distant. She's watching closely to see if you stay the same man you were when you first met. This is where many men slip up. At first, they show their best self, attentive, calm, confident. But the moment they sense resistance, they panic, overpursue, or start acting differently. That shift alone tells her everything she needs to know. This man's confidence is conditional, not rooted. Consistency is magnetic because it represents stability. And stability is the foundation of trust. A woman doesn't just want a man who makes her feel butterflies, she wants a man she can lean on when storms hit. Imagine her mind asking, will he still be present when I'm not in my best mood? Will he still treat me with respect, even if I'm not easy to deal with today? These aren't small questions. They determine whether she feels safe enough to open up her heart. And remember, women don't test you out of cruelty. They test because they need to feel secure before investing deeply. If she sees you react wildly to her pulling back, it tells her you're not grounded. You're dependent on her validation. But if she sees you remain steady, living your life, pursuing your goals, and treating her with the same calm energy, that's when attraction quietly transforms into respect, and respect deepens into love. The key to passing this test isn't doing more, but doing less, and doing it consistently. Don't chase harder when she pulls back. Don't suddenly switch your tone to sarcasm when she takes longer to reply. Don't start doubting yourself just because she's evaluating you. Instead, remain unshaken. Be the same steady man on Monday morning that you were on Saturday night. That's how she knows your value isn't tied to her mood, her reactions, or her presence. It's tied to who you truly are. When a woman sees that level of consistency, she doesn't just admire it, she feels safe enough to fall in love. 2. She tests your emotional control. Another powerful test women use before falling in love is watching how you handle your emotions under pressure. Attraction isn't just about charm or good looks, it's about whether you can stay composed when things don't go your way. A woman may say something teasing, challenge your opinion, or even withdraw affection for a moment. Not because she hates you, but because she wants to see how you respond when the situation isn't perfectly comfortable. Do you stay calm and collected? Or do you lose control, get defensive, or lash out? This matters more than most men realize because emotional control signals strength, and strength is one of the most magnetic traits a man can display. Why does this test matter so much? Because for a woman, love isn't safe unless she knows the man she's opening up to won't collapse under the weight of emotions. If every disagreement leads to shouting, panic, or sulking, she can't relax in the relationship. She'll always feel on edge, fearing the next explosion. But when you remain calm, centered, and solution focused, even when she pushes your buttons, it tells her you're the type of man who can handle life's chaos without falling apart. That sense of emotional stability makes her trust you more deeply because it means you won't just lead when things are easy, you'll also lead when things get messy. The truth is, many men fail here without realizing it. They take her test personally and react with anger or insecurity. For example, if she questions you with a sharp tone, some men get defensive immediately, as if their entire worth is being attacked. But the men who pass this test Understand that her challenge isn't about tearing you down. It's about checking if you're strong enough to handle energy, emotion, and unpredictability without breaking. Think of it like this: if she can trust your calm in small emotional storms, she'll trust your leadership in life's real storms. To pass this test, you don't need to be cold or emotionless. You need to be grounded. Listen without overreacting. Respond with patience instead of panic. Smile when she tries to push your buttons because that smile tells her you're unshaken. When you show this level of emotional control, you're not just proving yourself to her, you're proving that you're a man who lives from strength, not from impulse. And that's when she begins to see you as more than just a partner. She begins to see you as the man she can truly love. 3. She tests your independence. One of the biggest tests a woman will put you through before falling in love is checking how independent you really are. Independence doesn't just mean paying your own bills or living alone. It's about whether you have your own life, purpose, and identity outside of her. Many men make the mistake of thinking love means centering everything around the woman, canceling plans, abandoning goals, or always being available the second she calls. But here's the truth: when a man gives up his independence too quickly, he doesn't look more loving. He looks more needy. And nothing kills attraction faster than neediness. A woman wants to know, is this man fulfilled on his own, or does he depend on me for his happiness? If she senses that your world falls apart without her attention, she'll lose respect because deep down she's looking for a partner, not a project. When she sees that you have your own goals, your own friendships, and your own passions, it tells her that you're whole on your own. You don't need her to survive. You choose her to share your life with. That difference alone shifts the dynamic completely because it makes her feel like she's earned her place beside you, not that she's been forced into the role of completing you. This is why sometimes women will test you by pulling back or creating space. She wants to see if you'll collapse into desperation or if you'll stand firm in your own identity. Do you still hit the gym, chase your dreams, and pursue your goals when she's not around? Or do you sit around sulking, waiting for her to validate you? Your response tells her everything. A man who continues to live his life fully proves that he's strong enough to handle both love and independence at the same time. And ironically, it's that very independence that makes her more drawn to him because she knows she's with a man who's already complete. To pass this test, you don't need to push her away. You simply need to live your life without putting her at the center of it. Let her see that you're committed to your vision, not just to her validation. When she realizes you're independent yet still choose to invest in her, it makes her feel truly special because she knows she's with a man who doesn't need her but genuinely wants her. And that's the kind of love she can actually fall into. 4. She tests your confidence in boundaries. Before a woman allows herself to fully fall in love, she will often test how strong you are when it comes to setting and holding boundaries. Why? Because a man without boundaries may seem nice at first, but over time, he becomes easy to manipulate, and deep down, women don't respect what they can control. A woman might push certain limits, show up late to see if you let it slide, throw out a sharp comment to see how you respond, or even ask you to do something that goes against your values. These aren't random behaviors. They are subtle ways of checking whether you are a man who stands firm or a man who folds the moment emotions are involved. Confidence in boundaries shows her that you value yourself enough not to tolerate disrespect, no matter how much you like her. And paradoxically, it's this firmness that makes her feel more attracted, because boundaries communicate strength. Think about it. A woman doesn't want a man who says yes to everything. She wants a man whose yes actually means something, because it comes from conviction, not fear of losing her. When you calmly enforce boundaries, you're telling her, I want you in my life, but I don't need to compromise who I am to keep you there. That type of strength is rare and extremely attractive. Many men fail this test because they confuse boundaries with aggression. They either become controlling, trying to dictate her every move, or they go to the opposite extreme and allow everything, hoping endless tolerance will earn love. Both approaches backfire. Real masculine strength is found in balance, being kind but not a pushover, being firm but not controlling. For example, if she disrespects your time, you don't need to yell or lecture. You simply match her energy, protect your schedule, and show through action that you won't invest deeply where there is no respect. Over time, this earns her admiration because she realizes you are a man who values himself. To pass this test, you must learn to communicate your boundaries with calm authority. Don't over explain, don't beg for her approval, and don't bend just to keep her happy. When she sees you're the type of man who stands firm while still treating her with respect, she feels safe because she knows you'll protect both yourself and the relationship. And once she respects your boundaries, she's far more likely to trust you with her heart. 5. She tests your patience. One of the most underrated but powerful tests a woman gives before falling in love is checking your patience. Love is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And before she lets her guard down completely, she wants to know if you're the type of man who can stay composed when things don't move at your preferred speed. Sometimes she'll take longer to open up, delay intimacy, or even put emotional walls between you. Not because she isn't interested, but because she's studying how you handle the waiting game. Are you calm and understanding, or do you become restless, pressuring her for more? That difference often decides whether she sees you as a temporary thrill or as someone she can actually trust long term. Patience, to a woman, signals emotional maturity. It shows that you're not driven purely by impulse, but by intention. A man who grows frustrated the moment she doesn't meet his timeline reveals that his attraction is shallow. He's chasing an outcome, not truly valuing her as a person. But a man who respects her pace demonstrates that he's strong enough to hold desire without letting it control him. And that is incredibly attractive because it proves you have discipline. Women instinctively know that patience is tied to leadership. If you can stay calm in the process of love, you can stay calm in the storms of life. This is why some women will deliberately slow things down, not to play games, but to see if your interest is genuine or just driven by short term excitement. Do you continue to invest in her with the same energy when things move slowly? Or do you pull away the moment you don't get instant gratification? Your actions here tell her everything. If you stay consistent, respectful, and unpressured, she sees you as rare, a man who isn't desperate but intentional. Ironically, the more patience you show, the faster she'll feel safe enough to let her walls fall because she knows you're not just chasing her body. You're proving you can value her mind and heart too. To pass this test, you don't need to wait forever, nor should you tolerate endless stalling if she's not genuinely interested. But when you recognize that real love takes time and you show patience without frustration, you set yourself apart from the majority of men who rush, pressure, or give up. And when she sees that level of patience, it doesn't just build attraction, it builds trust. And trust is the very foundation of love. 6. She tests your ambition. Before a woman allows herself to fall deeply in love, she will often test whether you have ambition and drive. This doesn't mean you need to be rich, powerful, or at the peak of your career, but it does mean she wants to know if you're moving somewhere in life or if you're standing still. A man without direction may provide short term excitement, but over time, he becomes uninspiring. And women instinctively know that love without growth eventually fades. So she'll test your ambition by asking about your goals, observing how you use your time, or even challenging you when she senses you're being lazy or unfocused. These moments aren't nagging, they're checkpoints. She's asking, are you a man with a vision or are you drifting without purpose? Ambition is magnetic because it represents potential. A woman doesn't just fall in love with who you are today, she also falls in love with who you're becoming. When she sees that you're chasing something bigger than yourself, it gives her confidence that you won't stagnate. It also tells her that being with you means joining a journey of growth, not settling into a cycle of complacency. Men who lack ambition often wonder why women lose interest, but the answer is simple. Without drive, you communicate that tomorrow will look exactly like today. And for most women, that isn't security, it's boredom. This is why women sometimes test you with subtle challenges. She may question your consistency at the gym, poke fun at your work ethic, or ask you where you see yourself in 5 years. These aren't random questions. They're her way of feeling out whether you're serious about becoming the man you claim to be. If you get defensive, make excuses, or show no real direction, she'll quickly sense weakness. But if you answer with confidence, not arrogance, and demonstrate with action that you're moving forward, she'll feel inspired. A woman wants to admire the man she loves, and ambition is what makes that admiration possible. To pass this test, you don't need to have everything figured out. You simply need to show that you're on the path. Have goals. Take action daily. Let her see that you value progress more than comfort. When she realizes you're the type of man who won't settle for mediocrity, she'll not only respect you, she'll want to invest in your journey. And that's when her attraction turns into something deeper. The belief that loving you means being part of a future that's always moving forward. 7. She tests your loyalty. One of the most important tests a woman gives before falling in love is checking your loyalty. Loyalty isn't just about whether you cheat, it's about whether she can trust you to stand by her, defend her, and stay committed, even when temptations or challenges appear. Women know that attraction fades if trust is broken, so before opening her heart, she'll quietly observe how you act around other women, how you handle attention, and whether your actions match your promises. She wants to know, if I give this man my heart, will he protect it or betray it? That question sits at the core of her testing. Loyalty is more than not entertaining other women. It's about integrity. If you say you'll call and you disappear for days, you've failed her loyalty test. If you tell her you're serious about her but flirt behind her back, she won't feel safe to love you. But when she sees that your words align with your actions, her walls start to drop. Loyalty communicates security, and security is what allows a woman to love fully. It tells her that she won't waste her emotions on someone who can't stay true. This is why she may sometimes create scenarios to test your loyalty. She might mention another man to see if you get insecure or reckless. She may even pull back to watch if you start chasing other options in her absence. None of these moments are about games. They're about reassurance. She's not looking for perfection. She's looking for proof that you're a man who values commitment more than convenience. And when you pass, it doesn't just make her feel attracted, it makes her feel safe. Safe enough to invest her deepest emotions without fear. To pass this test, you don't need to declare loyalty every 5 minutes. You need to live it. Be reliable with your words. Respect her when she's not around. Show her that you don't fold the moment another option appears. Women respect men who are consistent and loyal because it proves strength, not weakness. In a world full of distractions, a loyal man is rare, and rare men are irresistible. When she sees your loyalty isn't conditional, but part of who you are, she won't just trust you, she'll fall in love with you because she knows she's found something solid in a world that often feels fragile. Now that we've walked through all 7 points, it should be crystal clear. Women don't test men to play games, they test because their hearts, their futures, and their emotions are on the line. Every single test, whether it's your consistency, your emotional control, your independence, your boundaries, your patience, your ambition, or your loyalty, isn't about making you jump through hoops. It's about seeing if you're truly the man you claim to be. Think about it. A woman can't know your soul on the first date, but she can observe how you act under pressure, how you treat her when things aren't convenient, and how you carry yourself when temptation, time, or tension shows up. These small tests are her way of scanning for the truth because love without truth quickly turns into heartbreak. The men who fail are the ones who take these tests personally. They complain, why does she pull back? Why does she challenge me? Why does she push my buttons? What they don't realize is that failing a test isn't about her being unfair. It's about them revealing cracks in their character. If you crumble when she slows things down, it shows impatience. If you snap when she challenges you, it shows lack of control. If you abandon your purpose to make her the center of your life, it shows neediness. Each failed test confirms that your strength is situational, not real. And women can sense that instantly. But the men who pass, they don't just win her attraction, they win her respect. And respect is the soil in which love grows. When she sees you're consistent, she knows she can trust your words. When she sees you're emotionally steady, she feels safe to open up. When she sees you're independent, she knows she's chosen, not needed. When she sees you stand by your boundaries, she feels protected. When she sees your patience, she trusts your intentions. When she sees your ambition, she believes in your future. And when she sees your loyalty, she knows her heart is in safe hands. Passing these tests isn't about memorizing tactics. It's about embodying qualities that make you naturally attractive and deeply trustworthy. The truth is, The tests women give are really opportunities for you to demonstrate strength, authenticity, and growth. They're not traps, they're invitations. Invitations to rise into the man you were meant to be. And once you understand this, you stop fearing the tests and start appreciating them because everyone you pass brings you closer to the kind of love most men never experience. So the next time a woman tests you, don't panic, don't complain, don't fold. Instead, smile. Recognize what's happening, and then respond like the man you know you are: calm, grounded, ambitious, loyal, patient, and unshaken. Because when you pass her tests, you don't just win her heart, you win her respect, her trust, and her love. And that's the kind of love that lasts.